This is section 4 of part 2 of our Vectorworks drafting tutorials. We're going to finish off our set by placing some furniture here. Now we could just draw some simple shapes to represent the size and location of our furniture, but we're going to explore the resource manager a little bit more and work with some of the pre-constructed objects that Vectorworks already has inherently in the system. So we're going to be going back into the scenery layer. Right now we were left off in the soft goods layer. So I'm going to click up here in the layer drop down menu and select scenery. Great. So now I'm back where I can actually select the walls or the runoff. I cannot select any of the soft goods because they're on the layer above where I am, and I cannot select the theater because it's below the layer that I'm in. So I'm just dealing with the scenery. So all of the objects are stored in our resource manager, which we've talked a little bit about already. So we're going to hover over that so that it opens up, and it's going to look something like this. And we're going to open up the Vectorworks libraries. I'm going to collapse this lighting instruments that I happen to have open right now. And we're going to open up object styles. There we go. And then I'm going to scroll down and find a file called Tables and Chairs, and I'm going to open that, and I'm going to select the file that is Tables and Chairs Imperial. Now here are all the different versions that just inherently exist in Vectorworks under that Tables and Chairs file. Oh, sorry, I moved off of it. That'll come back in a second. There we go. And I'm going to select the furniture table with chairs Cafe Round 42, which is this one right here. So I'll double click on that to activate that symbol. If I come off of it, that'll collapse. You can see that I've got the outline of what the tables and chairs look like. Vectorworks has automatically put me in the symbol insertion tool, so I don't even have to worry about that. And I'm going to hover right over my origin point, my 0, 0, and I'll click to insert that table and chairs. So you'll notice that my border is actually going over my table because that layer is above the one that I'm on right now. So in their stacking layer, if you were looking directly down on top of it, the border would in fact go over the table. So Vectorworks is placing it the way that it would be in reality. I still need to move this table and chairs, so I'm going to select it one more time and Command M to move it, and we're going to move it stage right, so minus 6 feet 6 inches, and we're going to go up 3 feet 9 inches. We'll hit enter, boom, it has moved it. I'm just going to click an empty space to deselect it so that I can move on to another thing. All right, so I'm going to come back up to the resource manager again, and I'm going to collapse tables and chairs, and I'm going to collapse object styles, and I'm going to go to objects building furnishings. So here are all the various sorts of files that are inherently in Vectorworks that you can select from. I'm going to scroll down and should be able to find residential living room furniture. Here we go. Residential living room layout. Residential living room 01. This is the one that I want. So I'm going to just go ahead and select it. And here's all the various types of furniture that's in that particular file. I'm going to do chair number 2. I like this one. So we'll double click on that to activate it. We'll slide off of that to close our resource manager. And once again, we will place this on our origin point. So we'll double click to insert that. There it is. I'm going to go back to my selection tool, and I'm going to go ahead and move this chair into the position that I want. So Command M, and in this instance, I'm going to move it stage left, and it's going to go 2 feet 8 inches, and it's going to go 6 feet 11 inches upstage, which is basically going to place it right up against this step, just stage left of center. And I'll click in the empty space to deselect it. Then I'm going to come back up to my resource manager. I'm actually going to stay in this residential living room furniture file for now, and I'm going to scroll down and should be able to find something that is Metro Love Seat number 1, I think. Yes. Furniture Living Metro 01 Love Seat is what I'm going to select. I'll double click on that. Okay. Once again, I'm going to click this on the origin, but I'm only going to click once. When I click once, now I can still manipulate the angle that I want this at. So I'm going to angle this until it's at a 30-degree angle, which is going to match my wall. I'll click again to complete that insertion. Hit X to get back to my selection tool. And I'm going to grab the top right corner of it, and I'm just going to move it up to where it intersects with that step, and that's where the position of my love seat is going to be. I'm going to come back to my resource manager one more time, and I'm going to look for coffee table number 1 so that we have a coffee table in front of this love seat. Here it is. We'll double click on that, and once again put it on our origin, and we'll rotate it till we're at a 30-degree angle and go back to our selection tool. And then I'm just going to take this and move it and place it kind of roughly in front of where that love seat is. That looks pretty good. Okay, one more thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a console in between the windows upstage here. So I'm going to go back to the resource manager again. I'm still in my living room furniture, and I'm going to look for the console that is Open Media 1. But now I still have to find it. Here it is. Yeah, Open Media TV. Yep, that's going to be great. I'll go off of that, and I'm actually literally going to press insert this right at the point where it intersects that wall. I'm going to click once. I'm going to click twice to insert it. I'll go back to my selection tool and deselect. And now I have that console sitting right in between my windows. That is the extent of the furniture that's going to be on this set, and actually concludes part 2 of our drafting tutorial. So congratulations, you've completed all of that. I'm going to fit to my objects. So we've drafted the entire architecture of our theater. We've put in our line set schedule and indicated what's hanging on each one of those pipes. We've gone in and drafted the scenic walls and platforms and runoffs of our set. We've laid in our soft goods, and we've placed all our furniture. So our set is all ready to go. We're going to move on to part 3 of the Vectorworks tutorial, which is the lighting component, which starts to get quite a bit more extensive, but we'll dive into that in another episode.